Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Logical Heroes. I'm Mitch, aka Bacchus.
I'm Trevor.
Today, we got our discussion number 3. We're still going hard on this. We obviously, you can see from the title, today we are going to be discussing our top 10 characters from My Hero Academia. We didn't tell each other what ours is. We're going to have 2 different ones. So this is not together. We're going to compare. So what we'll do is we're going to do, so I'll say I'll start off with 10. So I'll say my 10, you say your 10, then you say your 9, and I'll say my 9, and we'll just make it all the way down the list. We're also going to talk about the bracket from last episode that we just watched. We're in the, I just call it the Superhero Olympics, basically. And we're at the final 16, and we're going to see or bet. Maybe we'll bet something. Maybe I'll make Trevor have sex with like a horse or something after.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll get started. But before we do, if you want to drop a like and subscribe down below, we greatly appreciate it. Bringing you discussions every Friday or Saturday, depending on our work schedules, but we do it at least once a week. We also got Discord, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon down the links below. Our Patreon for our discussion, we do one half on YouTube, and then we do a second half that's a little shorter, but we put it on Patreon as well. You can go join us there. And you also get all of our unedited videos that we do throughout the week for our reactions, and you get the content a couple days earlier than you would on YouTube. All right, so are you finished your list?
Yeah, but then I remember I forgot to put them in order of who I like the best.
Oh, see, that's an issue.
That's why you're gonna have to go first, and then I'm gonna, because then it'll help me.
I'll pull up my list. Oh, also today as well, just because Trevor's gonna start doing his little write-down thing there, he's gonna try and get them all in order. We're gonna do questions at the end of this portion as well. So we'll do the questions on YouTube. That won't be something saved for Patreon. We'll do it on YouTube. If you join our Discord, you can go in. I have a little text channel for you guys, and you guys can ask questions all throughout the week and stuff like that about the shows that we're watching, personal things like why Trevor's penis curves at a 90-degree angle.
Still don't know why.
So you go there, ask us, and then we'll try and get to all of them every week when we're doing our discussions. We'll do them at the end after today. Hopefully, we have a bunch of other stuff we're going to talk about. I don't know how much this is really going to take today. I have a funny feeling. I thought this was going to be like a 30-minute thing. I don't think so. After thinking about how we're going to have to go through everything and what our rankings are going to be, and we're going to be discussing everything and why, I have a funny feeling that this is basically going to be our discussion today. It's going to be mostly My Hero Academia, and I don't think me and Trevor are going to complain about that because right now we're fucking enjoying that series. Yeah, exactly. So, what else? I don't think we have anything else. Yeah, I think we're set to go. So I'm going to start off first. Let me bring it up here. What's that?
What you had up on the screen was grossing me out, but...
Yeah, you guys don't want to know what I show Trevor before we get started. Okay.
No, he tortures me.
All right, so for my first one, number 10, I'm going to be putting down Eraserhead. That is going to be my number 10 for today. And the reason why, because you have to understand as well what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing basically power, their personality, and their look, and really in essence our preference. Really in essence, I think that's a bigger thing than anything is our preference. And let us know in the comments, by the way, roast us about our top 10, right? Let us know.
So when you say number 10, he's your last guy.
He's my last guy. 10? He's my last guy.
Of course you're starting with that. I've been starting one to... Then give me a minute. Hold on, I'm at 5.
Jesus Christ, this is what I have to deal with when we're doing videos. You can keep going. It's fine.
Okay. You can say why you like him so much while I'm...
That's what I'm going to do. No, it's really, in essence, I think the reason why I like Eraserhead so much, we haven't seen a ton of him. He's obviously been relevant since season 1 and stuff like that. I don't think he's that amazing. I do like his power that he can take away your power only for a moment, right? It's not an everlasting thing. I also like his personality. He seems like... He reminds me of... Kurt Cobain a little bit. I don't know why. Like, he's very monotone, very quiet and shit like that. And to be honest, he's a badass. And he took a beating like a champ. Okay, he's still alive after that beating from Namu. I think that's what
Yeah,
his name is.
Nanu.
So he's still going, but no, he's gonna be my number 10. Because I honestly think he has to be in there, and I think, in all honesty, when you think about it, he could take on a lot of these heroes. But the sad part about it is, let's just say you don't look at him in the eyes.
Yeah.
He's useless. When you really think about it, he's useless. If you don't look at him in the eyes, or if he can't get you to look at him, you're screwed.
Well, I wouldn't say useless because he's a good fucking fighter, and the
As long
shit
as if
he
I'm
has,
blind.
like,
Okay,
what do
then
you
he
mean?
kicks my ass. Okay, no,
No, like he's a good fighter in
I understand
general,
what you mean. Yeah.
and he was kicking guys' ass even when he wasn't erasing their quirks. But same thing. Like, yeah, I know what you mean. He's easier to like take out of.
Yeah.
Like he has a clear weakness, you
Yeah.
know. Okay, so my number 10 is actually a new character that we just met. By the way, we're gonna butcher these names. I'm sorry,
Oh,
I can't even speak English
definitely.
that well. Okay, but Nisho Monama,
Which one's that?
and his power, quirk is copy, and he was in the
Oh,
recent like
yeah.
battle where we're like, what? How's this guy like getting a like an edge on people? And then we found out, I don't know all of it exactly, but it's like he can have, I think, he can touch whoever and steal their quirk
Hmm.
for like 5 minutes, and he can use three at once. It's something like that. But I'm just
That's
thinking
pretty
like
crazy.
around like a bunch of soups in a world like, if it was our world, you
Yeah.
know, that wouldn't be that good of a power, because if it was our world, I'd say there's like fucking maybe 5% that have
Yeah.
powers in the world, but in this world it's like 80
80.
80 80%,
80%.
right? So just imagine the fucking, I want to say like a feast. It's a buffet around you, especially when you're in a high school and everyone's trying to be a hero.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm constantly stealing your guys' quirks, so I'm gonna say number 10. He's number 10 because he's maybe not the flashiest guy. He's a cocky blonde dude, so a
Yeah.
little Nazi looking guy. But
Aryan. Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, I liked his introduction, and I was interested with his quirk. But yeah,
No, I like that one because, in all honesty, like, does that just means he can take any quirk that once he went up and just, like, touched All Might for a second.
that's what I'm saying. But the thing that makes him not that is he can only do it for like 5 minutes, and then I think he has to touch them again, something like that. And he
Okay.
can only use a certain amount of powers at once.
Oh,
So
do you know what? Also, sorry, I'm gonna forget if I don't say it right now. We've only watched season 1.5 of 2. Okay,
yeah,
keep
so
that
we're
in
pretty much,
mind for
yeah.
our list, because if you're gonna
Don't
start saying
spoil
stuff
us.
about like season 6, we're not gonna know what the hell you're talking about. I should have said
Or
that at the
like,
beginning.
or when you say something like, "Oh, well, wait until they fucking, I don't know, fucking evolve and their power gets much stronger and they can now do this." No, let me enjoy it in the moment. But you can hint, okay?
All right, you're gonna do number 9 now.
Okay, loser. Um, hold on, let me make sure. My 9 is actually Krishima,
Which
and
one's that?
he's got the red hair, and he can like harden his like
Oh, okay.
shit, and
Yeah.
he's a good fighter. I just like his energy. He seems like a good guy, but he's also like crazy and ready for battle. When it came down to it, like he was one of the kids, like with Kachan, Shoto. He was with the group that was like fighting back against the villains and had like no fear.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like, especially like their first outing like that. And I think his ability is so interesting. He just can like spike up his arms and his hair, and you can just honestly you can f up a lot of people that way, and you can use it as defensive and offensive. So I think that's a pretty cool power. So he's my number 9, and I do like his costume and his hair.
His costume.
He's
That I
unique.
was gonna say, his costume is really cool. I like
He's
that one
just
a lot.
you see him and you're like, cool, that's cool. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
All right, my number 9 is Kachan.
Ooh,
That's gonna be my
okay,
number 9. That's gonna be my number 9.
respectable,
I
respectable.
honestly, I thought he would be higher. Like, he was one of those guys. There's two people, and you'll see when at the end. Like, he's one of those guys that I put like in the middle, and all of a sudden everyone else kind of just starts stacking up above. The one thing that I think that, like, because in all honesty, I like his personality. It's a shitty personality in the way that he thinks, but it makes it entertaining. You know what I mean? Also, I had to like start to love his outfit, the whole grenade stuff and everything like that. Like I wasn't a fan at the beginning. I'm like,
It worked for me at first. I was
really?
surprised. Yeah, I'm like in real life or like I don't know, not anime, maybe I'd be more like, what the fuck? But because everyone's costume is
Okay.
so out there, I just and his look, like his face and his hair and how he looks like angry, it just goes with it. That's what I think. I think
It was like a slow burner for me for my love for his costume because I was like,
I
this
think
is
when I
really
found
out
love is
there.
when you found out that his grenades are actually useful,
Yeah,
where he can build it up and then he like
yeah.
and he shoots it.
That's what I mean. And like his personality, like he's powerful too, right? He is a powerful he has a powerful quirk. But there's something that like so like for example, his personality actually gets him to be better, right? His anger pushes him to go further, but the other
Yeah.
issue is his power also gets him in so much shit. He can literally be doing something like the objective and he will say, "Fuck the objective. I'm going to go do
Yeah.
something cuz someone pissed me off."
He's
That's
funny.
the issue, right?
I've grown to really like him.
No, so have I. Like he's very entertaining, everything like that. He's one of my favorites in the show. I think he is powerful. I think he's a good fighter and everything like that. But his only downfall to me is his emotions, and that's been like it's been since the beginning. And it's I don't think that's gonna be something that changes anytime soon. So no, he's gonna be my number 9. Yeah. So Kachin, number 9. Let's move on to number 8. I am going. Let's see if I can. I this guy is cool as shit. I just started liking him a lot. I'm gonna mess this name up. Fumikaji,
Okay.
Birdman.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Birdman. I didn't think I was gonna like. I saw him like at the beginning of the show, and I'm like, it's a dude with a bird head. Like that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, kind of thing. And then when he teamed up with Izuku and stuff like that, and they were doing the what do you call that thing, the chariot thing that they were doing?
Yeah, I don't
That's
know
when
what
I
the fuck that was, but
really
yeah.
liked him. And also on top of that, I think his dark shadow power, where the thing comes out and everything, especially because we haven't seen him at night either. That's another
Yeah,
thing too.
they hinted that, right?
So that
I'm
to me,
excited.
his power is one of my favorites. I think
Yo.
like top 3. I don't think he's like a top 3 candidate because like the way that he looks, he just looks like a bird. That's what he
I
is.
just
Go ahead.
take away Robin. If Batman had that dude as a sidekick, like
It'd
during
be
night in
nothing.
Gotham, Batman and him would fucking take everyone out. But sorry, keep going.
No, 100%. His costume isn't the winner for me. His like very stoic, very quiet attitude is like really cool to me. It's almost like it kind of
Yeah.
similar to a racer head in a
He's like
sense.
leans on shit. He's like
Yeah,
really cool.
exactly. He's
Yeah.
very stoic and everything like that, and also his power I think is extremely powerful. It's defensive during the day, which apparently that drains it, right? Like he's not at full power like at all during the day,
Yeah.
and to have him that powerful or like that his power is limited at that time and he's that powerful to me. I think if he continues to be in this show, that I think that he is going to become like an actual prominent big character, or at least I hope they do, because he's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
After the chariot shit, I he's like my top 3 characters right now, 100%. All right, what's your number 8?
agree.
Or yeah, your number 8.
Momo. She's the one that has to pretty much be shirtless to use her powers.
Why do you like her?
That's not the reason I like her. I think her ability is really interesting to me. Seriously, but that is it's a nice,
No,
you
no,
know.
ba.
No, what?
She's
Sorry.
not of age,
If,
sorry.
if I was in high school, they'd be nice to look at. That's okay to say.
No, it's not.
Anyway, fuck off, police. Her power's sick because honestly, I don't think if you were stupid, you wouldn't be able to use her power.
Oh, 100%.
Because do you know how her power like works? Like she has to like know how things work and what things like come together, molecules.
Yeah,
Oh my
sure.
god, I had another stroke. She knows how to put everything together. Like you have to like have the brains to know how that works. That's why she can't just like make the craziest shit out of thin air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It takes time and like depending on how big it is. But depending on what she learns or how much she can take, she can pretty much make whatever weapon
I was
she
gonna
wants.
just ask that. Is it kind of like a Green Lantern thing where she can literally make anything she wants?
But it's not that simple. It's not like, oh, I think of it and go. She like it's a little bit more than that, I
Yeah.
think. She has to like know the shit that mixes and what makes that like type of thing.
Really?
That's what I'm pretty sure. You let us know in the comments. I'm pretty sure because they were saying that when we were first learning about her. But yeah, but she can just like make shit out, and I just find it's interesting that it can only come out of her skin, and it needs like so like if she was wearing shirts, it's like something's just trying to get out, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that makes sense. Um, and she was one of the girls or one of the characters in general to like really set the tone for the school.
Big time.
Like right after they did the battles or whatever, All Might was asking, "Hey, what did they do good? What did they do wrong?" And she just came out and assessed like everyone perfectly and was like, "He's emotional. He did good, but wasn't thinking like well with his quirk." Like, and she just killed it. And All Might's like, "Oh my God, she said better than I did."
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
I like that about a character. So, and I like her power. And like Mitchell said, I
Don't
can't say
say it.
anything, but her
Don't say it.
costume. That's okay.
Don't say
That's
it.
all. I'll leave it at that.
All right, what's your number 7? What's your number 7?
My number 7 is he's a teacher. Black hole, or sorry, 13.
13.
Sorry, 13, but he can make black holes. My bad.
He's in
Yeah.
my list at some point, but he's not
Oh
there
yeah.
yet. Oh yeah.
I was like, so I put him kind of lower, but not too low because his quirk is powerful as fuck.
Dude,
Let's
he
just
could
say that.
literally do whatever. He could kill everybody. Anybody he could kill.
I'm just
Anybody.
like, there's so many things you can do with that. But the only thing I feel like you can't do, well, I guess you could make it defensive, but it's dangerous. Like you could set a barrier of black holes, and it's like you can't walk to me, bitch, because you're just gonna walk in a black hole. But for the most part, it's really dangerous. You have to be super careful,
Because when
depending
you
on the
go in, you
size and
die.
strength. Yeah, you're gone. Where the
Yeah.
fuck are you going?
You evaporate.
Unless you have a power where you can, I don't know, go into black holes and survive. But like that'd be a weird quirk, you know what I'm, you dork. But but no, I think he's really interesting, and the fact, and I like how it's not just simple. Like he's not a normal looking person who has that power. He looks like he actually has to live in the suit, and he kind of became like that energy. I don't know. It's we still have to learn more. We didn't get much, but
Yeah.
I think he's really interesting. That power is just crazy powerful. No matter what situation, who you're against, he'll always be a threat. And it's a unique costume. He looks like a freaking astronaut. I don't
It's
know. You
dope.
know what I mean?
It's dope. Oh, 100%. All right. I'm gonna fuck this name up. I can already tell I'm gonna mess this name up.
We've already been fucking up names. It's okay.
Kirogiri. Do you know who that is?
No.
Kirogiri. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I think that's his name. It's the dude that got everybody inside, got all the villains inside the dome. He's the one that makes the
Oh, the villain.
portals. Yes, the villain.
Oh, the purple villain.
Yeah, with his
Oh,
head
I
going
was
up and
thinking about
everything
it,
like
but
that.
then I thought I'd keep it heroes.
No, it's so like for him, the one thing I really it's like the portal thing is like it's cool and stuff. It's been done a lot, obviously. Like it's just not his quirk has been
Yeah.
done. Like it's not something new. We've all seen it before and stuff like that. Awesome quirk, don't get me wrong. But it's the to me
Crazy.
it's the outfit and kind of like I think we're not done with him.
Oh
I
no.
don't think we're done at all. I think he's going to be back at some point, and I also think that how do you stop? In my opinion, let's just say that the villains lose, they all get captured. You guys throw him in jail. He just has to, literally, just pull them out.
They did have a weakness for him that they figured out, remember?
What was that? What was that again?
So he's got this costume, right? And he seems to look like he's just like this vortex mist,
But he's
right?
in there.
But the body itself is like metal, and apparently that's like real body. So Kachan had like his
That's right.
hand
Yeah,
up to him,
yeah.
and was like, "I'll kill you, bitch," pretty much. But the rest of him is like mutated and shit, but he still
Yeah.
has a weakness. So,
He is.
but
He looks so
crazy
cool.
powerful, so
He
cool.
looks so cool to me, and like I think he is. Like if I was like just saying like I'm like a villain, I want him on my team. Like he
Yeah.
can make like your team 10 times better than what it is. I
They're
don't
doing combos with him,
right
like
with like All Might and stuff like that. Like what are you gonna do?
like
He,
some a Nomu or whatever his
Nomu.
name could throw a punch like way
True.
back there, just like this through a portal, and then the guy could put the portal behind my head, and all of a sudden now I just took a punch through my
Exactly.
head. Like the things you could do is crazy.
100%. He's my number 7. I think he's really cool. I don't think we're done with him, and I think he's going to be a big part in this show. And if they don't, I think it's a wasted character, to be honest. I think he's a great, like, side villain. It's like sidekick
Oh,
for
it's
a villain,
amazing.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean, like henchmen.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be like my number 2 because it's like if I
Yeah.
need something done or if I need to get out in a situation or I need to get into a situation, this is the guy to have. I honestly don't really know how to defeat something like that. Like, let's just say you want to grab him. Good
Hmm.
luck. Like, they got lucky, in my opinion.
Yeah, to get to his body is hard. They just had him in this situation.
Exactly. So like he's like he's my number 7, but like I don't think we're done with him. But no, I can throw him as my number 7. Did I do number 7 first, or are you next?
You did it, so now it's me, I think.
No, you went 1-1 and then me, and now I do it again because you did your 7 already, right?
I did my 7. Yeah.
Yeah. So then it's me doing number 6, and then you do your 6
Okay.
and then 5. All right, my number 6 is Midnight.
Who's that? Why am I forgetting that name?
It's the chick that was doing the announcing at the Olympics.
What is her power? I'm so confused.
Doesn't matter.
Do you know her quirk?
Okay, so
Because I don't. Seriously, I've been confused.
I literally just
looked
typed
at
it in
her.
Google. Okay, I didn't do a lot of research. I don't need a lot of research. I don't care what any of you say. She's my number 6. But
Right.
from what I said, or what I searched up in Google, was that she, and this is what's gonna get interesting because it's kind of the same thing as the girl that can like make stuff out of her body.
Hmm.
So she has a fragrance that comes out of her that puts people to sleep.
Ah, poison ivy type shit, or Jigglypuff type shit. You know.
Exactly. So, but
And
she
that costume, damn.
she can't have the costume on.
To do it?
It gets caught in the costume.
Wait, what do you mean?
So what I was reading, so there's 2 parts to this. She's not able to like wear just like, let's say she's like in a ball, like it like, or in like regular clothing, it can't get out. So her costume, I don't know if it's her costume or she has to like move shit, but she can't be wearing clothing for the aroma or whatever it is to come out.
I'm sure it'd work even with her butt naked without using her power.
I
I'd
think
be
it would
like,
work
oh my
even
god,
more. You know
I'm
what I
gonna
mean?
pass out, babe.
So that's my number 6. There's no other reason other than she's hot. Like we
Bitch
have
was
even
a pervert. Yep.
yeah, pretty
check.
much. I'm a
But
pervert.
it's
There
okay
you
when
go.
they're of age.
Yeah, at least mine's of age, okay? Like at least.
Hey, I didn't say it.
Like,
I just
that's-
implied, which is ain't any better. It's
like, honestly, I knew nothing about her. I knew nothing. I'm like, she's gonna be put on my list at some point. This is what I'm gonna do. But at least I took 2 minutes to look at her quirk. Okay. At least I did
Makes
2
sense.
minutes of research. But yeah, she's gonna be my number 6. You could argue as much as you guys want in the comments. I'm not changing my number 6. Trevor, what's
Maybe
yours?
we'll see more. Mine's someone you said already.
Ooh.
Fumikage, the bird boy. He's my number 6. I was really impressed with him, but I honestly loved him from the start. I love the fact that first his look, like forget he doesn't really have a costume. He kind of just wears clothes.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's a bird, like I don't even know what kind of bird you would say he looks like.
A
but
raven.
He's cool looking on the head, right? It's a bird,
Yeah.
like just human arms and legs. Like the rest of his body looks normal.
Yeah.
And then the inside of his body, he literally has a shadow monster that they have like an agreement, and he'll say, "Hey, go fuck this guy up," and it will do it. And I just love the different things they're telling us about how like in the daylight he's not as strong,
Yeah.
and at night he's a lot stronger. But they also said, I don't know if you caught it, but they said at nighttime the stronger he is and the bigger he gets, the harder it is for him to control the monster.
Ooh,
So
I
you
didn't
know-
know that.
You know how when we know when he was fighting the daylight and shit, and he said something like pretty soft, like I was like, oh, I feel bad for him. He's like, I don't like violence. He said something like that. I bet in the dark he gets mad crazy, like I will kill all, like something crazy like that. And he's like, no, just like fuck him up. Don't actually, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that like conflict. Every quirk in the show, like compared to Marvel shit, Marvel shit's just like simple. That's the power. And they don't have much repercussions.
Yeah.
And I feel like all these powers, like depending on how they
There's a
look,
negative.
it changed their look, or they have a really like unique weakness that's like pretty, visible. And I just think they do such a well job. But yeah, he's my number 6. He kicks ass.
No,
I like him a
100%.
lot.
100%. All right, let's take a quick 30-second break. I got to go and do something really quick, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
And we're back. Mitchell had to take a little pee-pee break, and now we're back. What are we on now? We're on number 5.
Bye, bitch.
5. You're going to go next. So, what's your number 5?
Okay. It's actually Izuku is my number
Okay.
5.
All right.
Okay. I don't because it was weird to put him where to put him. Like I
Yeah.
think the reason he's on my list in general is because he's the main character and I feel most connected to him. And you just I feel like I'm his bud right now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's also because it's two things. For one, he's now has the power in him that the best hero in this show
Yep.
that everyone says, and so far the most powerful we've seen, and just the capability he has, he now has that. No, he can't use it fully. He's not the best vessel and he's still learning, but he has it. So like with growth, he's going to be really powerful. So I think that's really sick. And I love the fact that he's struggling and it's not just that simple like cuz the show started where he's quirkless and I thought it was going to be a whole like
Amazing story.
oh, he's just a late bloomer because I've seen that shit in like Sky High. If anyone's seen that, I think it's a
I'm still
Disney
waiting to hit
movie.
puberty, so it's like I understand.
You know what I mean though, but that's what it's normally it's a late bloomer, but in this case he literally didn't have it in a world where 80% of the people have
Dude.
quirks, which is bullshit. I felt so bad for him, but then he met his hero, the one that he like just like obsessed over, and like that's what made him a good person because All Might is such a good guy. It made him be like, I need to be a good person. This is what being a hero is like. So he's had this drive and just always thought he would get a quirk. And then when he fucking met his hero and he got that, I just think that makes such a great story. And he still has to learn. But yeah, he's not my top because he's can still get fucked up just by throwing a punch. But he is getting better. His first costume sucked, by the way. Me and Mitchell agree.
Jesus
Looked
Christ,
like a
my least
goddamn
favorite, man.
furry. Yeah, weirdo. Now I think it's more reasonable and I like it.
Fuck.
I think it could be upgraded and be better, but
Just a
I'm
little
not
bit.
mad at it. I think his hair and just like his personality makes up for like all of it. I just like seeing this like little dorky guy with the biggest willpower ever. And that's the other thing. Is just his willpower and never giving up. And yeah, he has doubts like normal people,
Yeah.
but it doesn't last long. He just goes right back to like fucking shit up. And he's been killing it in this show. And barely using his quirk, by the way. Just from like will and information and just being a good person. But yeah,
He's the
number
most
5.
real character. When you really
Yeah.
think about it, am I like putting myself in a position like that? He is the most real character in the show.
For sure.
By far. And obviously we've seen him more than any other character because he's main character obviously. But the things that he goes through, in my opinion, I think most people would feel or react in the same way that he did. I think that's why it's very easy to connect with Izuku because he is so like everybody could be in his position. You know what I mean? And some characters have like in my opinion there's better backstories, but it's like you can't connect sometimes with people that have like crazy backstories, right? Izuku,
Yeah, like
you can feel
entire
everything.
family murdered by demons, and I'm just like, it's sad to think
Exactly.
about, but I'd never face that reality.
Exactly. 100%. All right, let's move on to my number 5. I got Nomu. I
Nope.
loved this character.
Dude,
Loved him.
Mitchell's a bad person. He's picking all the villains.
I loved Nomu in this. I thought they like because to me he reminds me of Abomination for one. Sorry, Abomination from like the Incredible Hulk, not from the She-Hulk shit that came out. Okay, just a heads up.
Yeah. Right.
That is an abomination in itself. But like no
I got
Nomu
me.
Nomu in my opinion when he came out and all like that scene where All Might realize like what the fuck is going on kind of
Right.
thing, and like because he has strength and shock absorption, and obviously there's All Might still fucked him up and sent him to the moon and then he came back, but to me like he's extremely powerful. I wouldn't want to fuck with him, and on top of that too, his look I think is so cool.
Crazy. Right? Oh,
I
was so
loved him
impressed with that.
with his brain showing and everything like that. I
And
thought
then
he
got, like,
was.
a beak and oh my god.
I don't even know
He's
what he
giant.
is. Because he's a person, isn't he?
I have no fucking clue, honestly.
This is what I mean.
If
I
you can
don't
call
know
that a
much.
person. He sounded like he was modified and made. He could have been a
Yes,
person, and then I feel like they just fucking started adding people together and quirks and I don't know. I think they fucking made that shit in a lab. You know what I
that's what
mean?
I'm saying. He was so cool to me, and I think the mystery of him as well
Yeah.
is like very interesting to me as well. I think that's why I really liked him a lot because it's like I don't know shit about him. It's like it's one of those
Oh,
characters where he came in, came out. I don't think we're done because obviously he got arrested the last time we saw him, but that character and the scenes that he was in and the power that he has and he's able to take on All Might at certain points, right? So it's like I think he'll be back with what's his name, Kirogiri. I think they'll both be back together. I don't see them being finished. And no, Nomu is gonna be my number five.
he's scary though. He listens to orders really well. Like I feel like he just and he knows. Like he's trained well. That's what I mean.
100%, like a
And it's
dog, bro.
scary. Yeah.
100%. All right, I'm gonna do number 4, Shoto.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Shoto for number 4. Originally, I wasn't a massive fan of Shoto. I wasn't.
Yeah, you're like he's a villain.
That was my first thought. I'm like, the way he acts is he's hateful. And
Hmm.
we just found out last episode or two episodes ago, and then it got more into it last episode. There's a reason why he's so hateful, and why he is the way that he is, and the way that he thinks, and the way that he acts is all because of shit that happened when he was a kid, which I really, really like. I think that's an
Yeah.
amazing story. We found out the sad part. Hopefully, spoiler alert. I'm hoping you guys all watched up until
Yeah.
what we are at. But with his whole family and stuff like that, like what his dad comes from, where he wanted to get his son to be the ultimate superhero, and his mom hated the dad, and the mom threw hot water on his face, and the whole story was fucking phenomenal. And on
Yeah.
top of this, Trevor was saying this before I was, by the way, so credit to Trevor. But the fact that he has both powers of ice and fire is insane. Like,
It's amazing.
it never been done. I don't know that's been done before. I don't think so. Okay, and it's super powerful. And on top of that, we haven't even seen him use his fire yet.
Dude, it's such a simple concept, but it really hasn't been done. It's
No.
either been I have firepower, or I can manipulate fire, ice power, I can it was never like, oh, I can do both. And the fact that he's half and half,
Yeah.
like literally, like the design, the power is so cool. I'm really excited to see more of him. He's been kicking ass. And it also shows because whenever someone has ice power, like ice power in general, it's cool, but they never do that well with it or show that it's that powerful.
Yeah.
But he's just been using his ice and he's kicking ass.
No,
And he
100%.
said his fire side's more powerful, so yeah, he's sick. I think that's a good pick.
All right, what's your number 4?
But number 4 is actually Kachan.
Really? Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so first off, I actually loved his design from the start. I
Yeah.
think he's so cool looking. And he's one character I always saw like before we even started watching this show. I'm like, what a unique costume. He looks fucking crazy. I just always thought it was dope. But then learning about him, and first I didn't like him because honestly he's just a spat Suzuki for no reason. But then it makes sense, is like he was just, everyone was impressed with him from the start and just praised him and praised him. So it makes sense why
He
you
was
get
the first
ego
one,
like
wasn't
that.
he?
Yeah, and plus it's a cool quirk,
Yeah.
and he was always cocky to begin with and getting praise. So when he got that, it just blew up. But I like the growth when he got to the school and got humbled, and he really realized like, oh, I got so much more left to like do. I thought I was at the top. Okay, let's go. And everyone's scared of him, like,
Oh
he's
yeah.
crazy. His power is so unique, so I was looking more up to it. So it's explosions, but he like releases this type of like fuel or chemical out of his palms from the sweat and then can light it.
What the fuck?
And his fucking grenade things,
Yeah.
when he's able to shoot, that's after like a period of time of it collecting like the sweat, and then he can make a huge ass explosion. So the more like he like builds up, the bigger he can get. And it's like, so they've been showing us time and time what he's been able to do. Like he was like flying like Iron Man, he can like jump and then like turn angles and then hit you. Like he's just the shit he's been doing with it. At first I thought the power was like, what explosions that he okay, but he's time and time again he's been showing that it's a big threat, and that's another thing is that his willpower is he's fucking crazy, and every time he loses, you just think like because even in the last battle he was doing great, but then the copycat dude started fucking him up, and then he got even more pissed and said, "Screw Izuku, this guy is who I'm dealing with right now." And he got his shit back, took over him. So I just love that fact, you know. But
100%.
yeah, I think he's one of my favorite characters, and I'm really liking his growth, and I think we're just gonna see more growth from him, and he's gonna kick more ass.
Trying to think of what I want. Now I'm trying like when we're doing this list, I'm trying to think in my brain, what have I moved some other people? What have I done? Would I
I
have
think you
brought
will
someone
if you
up?
think more about it. You might,
I
but
don't
like
know.
this is more fun in the moment. What you were thinking, that's what's cool about it. Our list might change. We're gonna do this later in a few more seasons, and I'm sure we're gonna have a
That's
few
what I
more
was
lists.
thinking.
And then we could even keep this list and cross and be like, oh, I hate this person now, or this is
This
sick,
guy's
or
useless.
you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
that'd be a cool thing to do.
All right.
Do we do number 3 now?
So we are finally at our number 3. All right, but you're
Okay.
gonna be doing yours first.
hmm
Okay, so we got 3 left. Trevor, open your case.
My number 3 is another teacher. So this is my second teacher.
Ooh, okay.
And it was actually your number 10, Mitch. It's
Eraserhead, yeah.
Eraserhead.
Nice.
I did. I think he's so fucking badass. Yes, his power. I mean, his quirk. I'm so used to power, fucking Marvel
I'm
and
s-
DC, and just comics in general. Sorry, anime, but his quirk is just erasing people's quirks when he looks at them. But in a world where there's villains and superheroes and everyone's got powers or quirks, it's very useful.
Yeah.
Okay, and his design, I love it. The long shaggy, he's tired all the time, he looks like he's in pain, barely talks, but he's really calm and calculated and smart. He's one of the best teachers. He's a really good like teacher in general. Like at first I was like, this guy's a dick, but he really is looking out for the students because we learned that these villains are no joke. He's badass. Is like he has powers. He was like using I don't know what it is. It's like tape or these whips where he can like throw at
I
people
think
and
it's like
fuck
almost a
them up.
scarf. I didn't know what the
It's
fuck it
something,
was.
but he kicks ass with that, and he was taking on multiple villains at once, like without any help.
Dude, you
And
jumped
he
in
looks.
before anyone else was there. He's like,
That's what
let
I
me do
mean. He was
this.
taking. He was just was like students first. I gotta protect these students.
Yeah.
Don't worry about. I'll worry about myself later. And he just. I just think he's so unique, and the fact that him and All Might, they seem like they have respect for each other, but also like, they're not the same
Yeah.
personality, so they're not going to be best friends, but they still respect each other. But yeah, I hated him at the start, but now I really like him, and I just think that quirk in this world is crazy powerful and useful.
100%. All right. My number 3, All Might, is going to be my
Ooh,
number 3. All right. So
okay.
All Might is going to be my number 3. Obviously, we don't know. We all know his power. Okay. One for all. Super fucking powerful. Da 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 da. He's. I don't need to go through everything. I think he's a really good character in the sense of this is what in my opinion, he's Superman. He is everything you would want
That's what I was gonna say.
exactly. He is what
Yeah.
a superhero is supposed to be.
The perfect hero always has
Exactly.
a smile on their face. Ha ha ha
Exactly,
ha.
exactly. That's what I mean. So it's like, obviously he's powerful as fuck. So obviously that's one thing. I think his costume's awesome. Whoever
Right?
designed that, that's a 10 out of 10 costume and everything
I
like
think he
that.
has multiple too. He has one with a cape, one without. But the one we've been seeing, he's been wearing his. I think they said it was his like original one from the old days.
Yeah.
Is the cape one, which is sick.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and the design is great. I think his personality is awesome, and I also like the fact that he is hindered by this whole thing where he is injured and he can't hold on
Right.
to his power. Right, that's a negative. Where it's like
These
this
characters so complex.
exactly, and it's like this is like he is. Without him, there is no story. I get
Mhm.
Izuku, like it's all about him. But without All Might, there is no story. Izuku never gets his powers. And it's like he
Yeah.
is a huge part of this show. And like once again, he is so fucking powerful. I get that he's injured. I wish we could see him in his heyday kind of
I
thing.
know.
Right? Because like
But it's
really
cool.
he is Superman. That's what I just
Mhm.
equate him to. He is Superman. He is what everyone would think what a perfect superhero would be. I almost said serial killer for some reason. Superhero would be. And like to me, it's like top three. Like I'm like he has to be there for me. It's just
Isn't that
he
such
does.
smart writing though? The fact that he is like hindered and not as strong, so it gives like all these other characters like time to shine
Yeah,
as we're seeing them
exactly.
become heroes. You know what I mean? It's so well done.
Agreed. All right, I'm gonna do number two, and this one you've already said.
Hmm.
13. 13 is my number
Oh,
two.
cool. Nice.
I really like the whole space thing. I'm a huge like. Don't get me wrong. His power, if like let's just say he was a bad guy, okay.
Oh,
Let's say
dear
he
Lord.
went bad. And he's like, do you know what? Fuck it. Or like he went.
Goodbye, Earth.
Well, it's like imagine if he goes on a date and it doesn't go well. He's like, do you know what? Fuck everybody in this restaurant. And he just sucks everybody up and they're all dead. And it's like that's how powerful this guy is.
So yeah.
If he was a villain and he stood on the top of a tower and opened his finger, we'd all be dead.
Wait, now I'm thinking like, could he make like a small little black hole
Yes.
right in front of my dick, and then it just takes my
Thunk.
dick off, and then he's like, he
Cuts it
takes it
off.
away, and he's like, "What now?" And I'm like, "That happened so fast," and I faint. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like he could do so much with that.
Dude, his power is unbelievably strong. And I also like the fact that I don't think he has a body.
I don't think so.
He's
He
in this
kinda
in this
turned it in-
spacesuit,
yeah.
which I loved. I love the voice that he has and everything like that.
Yeah.
Being in a spacesuit is so unique. I've never seen that before. But like he is I don't know. Like to me, I struggle to feel like what superhero could fully beat him in a fight. If like let's just say 13 goes full out. He's like, I'm just destroying everything. Who's gonna stop him?
Yeah, because it's not something where it's like I have all this strength and I can stop a black hole.
Nope.
It's like it's either fucking move
You
it or
stop
lose.
him.
Like, yeah.
Right? That's the only possible way. Who cut him out of his back? What happened there for his back to get cut off like that?
I'm pretty sure the portal, the guy who's
That's
gonna
what
do
it
the
was, right? It
portals
was the
did
portal when they
something.
opened. See, which I think is that, in my opinion, how else are you supposed to stop him? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like there is no other way to stop him. That's the way you have to do it. But in my opinion, if no one's there to stop him and he was a villain, I honestly think that he would just fucking destroy everything. And like I said, this little creation, he's like smaller, he's not very big and everything like that. He's in a sense, he's kind of like nerdy a little bit, I would say. Like he's very quirky. That's it.
Yeah.
Funny of quirky. So I think in my opinion, he'd be a very hard person to stop if he was a villain. And I also
could
think
take
his
him.
quirk is yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, he's giving me my number two. I think he is a top superhero in this show. And to be honest, like I said, it'd take a lot to stop him if no one was in front of him. So number two, 13. Trev, what do you got for your number two?
For me, it's a little shake and bake, a little half and half, some
Okay.
Shoto,
Yep.
some fire and ice, baby. I
Okay.
think he's sick as fuck. From just like a glance, you look at him, you're like dope. He's got the Justin Bieber hair, but it's half red, white. He's got the fucking scar that's badass. And now learn that it's from a dark
Yeah.
past. So I feel a little sad now when I see it, but it's still cool. I'm sure the ladies like it, man. He just seems like the most grown because he's had the most like hurt and pain. Like I don't think he's
Yeah.
had a childhood. His dad's just been like hero, hero, hero. You're the best. You're the hero, hero. My wife's a pet. She's just cool for her power. That's it. Hero, hero. Oh, my mom doesn't even like me, type of thing. And I just think that's so sad. And also, he uses his ability so well. The ice is crazy powerful. He's only using one side, and he's just been dominating everyone whenever he uses it. I like the fact that he's so upset with his dad and resents him so much he doesn't use his other power, even though he's even mentioned it's his more stronger side.
Yeah.
Which is just telling us later on he's gonna have to use it. You know what I mean? Izuku already took out that side of the arm, so it's gonna make him
I have a
realize
theory
you gotta
coming up after to explain why he's gonna have to use it, but keep going.
Okay. But yeah, I just think he's backstory's great, design's great, his personality's so cool and intimidating. And yeah, it's honestly, if I was to because I always had the like, oh, if I had to choose what power out of fire ice, I honestly go back and forth so much. and now I don't have to decide. I get to say both.
Yeah.
I want both, bitch. But yeah, number 2, Shoto.
All right, buddy. We're finally at our number ones here. Okay, you're
Tamina?
gonna be doing yours first. What do you got?
Let's go.
What are you gonna be doing? What are you gonna? What?
Ah, 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 ah. My number 1 is All Might, boy.
Okay.
Honestly, hey, like Mitchell said, there wouldn't be the show without him. His power is crazy. I just think I love. Again, we said it so much, but it's not just simple super strength and this and that,
Yeah.
or this one little thing's my kryptonite, my weakness. It's like he has such a unique thing. The fact that his power, first of all, he's a skinny dude. He's a normal dude. He has to like flex his whole body like a muscle, and he turns strong, and he can be like he can use that strength,
Yeah.
and he's just crazy powerful. He can also transfer his ability to people, okay, which is another
I didn't even
adds
get into
another
that.
layer.
You're right.
I know, I beat you to it, bitch. Yeah, that's cool. Like the fact that he can, but he gets a little weaker when he gave. But that also could be because he's hurt now. Who
There's
knows?
so many
Back then,
problems. Yeah.
there's so many, but there's so many layers to him that, and we still don't know everything about him. So that's crazy. That's crazy cool about him. But also Mitchell was saying, which I was gonna say, he's like Superman. He's the hero you imagine when you look at someone. Like that's a superhero. Personality, powers, the way he just handles himself. That's a hero. And he's our main character's idol. And honestly, as Izuku was being shown to us and we're learning his story, I started to idolize this freaking guy. I'm like, who is this guy? He's positive all the time. Everyone's scared of him. Everyone looks up to him. And yeah, he's my number 1 for many reasons. And I'm excited to see more of him. But I'm also sad to say goodbye eventually because Izuku's meant to take his place.
Yeah.
So I'm also curious to see how much longer we got.
Do you think
But
he'll die?
he's also, well, yeah, but he's also like villains are clearly already after him, and I think people know. I think people are starting to
too.
know that his power can be transferred. You know what I mean?
Imagine someone gets a hold of him.
First of all, he's told multiple people. You know,
Okay,
he
yeah,
gave,
too.
he gave Izuku shit, but he listened like, oh, this person, like, shut up now. Enough is enough. Okay. So, but yeah, number 1, mainly because of strength and just that's what a hero is supposed to be. But yeah.
I All Might, in all honesty, I was fighting on the fact if I was gonna be doing All Might or something like that. I wasn't 100%
It's
sure.
cheesy and it's an easy one, but it's like how I'm feeling right now. Number 1, baby. Number 1.
I don't disagree with you at all, but my number 1 is different. And if you've noticed now, there's only one left, and I haven't said Izuku yet.
Is he your number 1, bitch?
No.
Oh shit!
He's
Izuku didn't
not
make
on
the
my
list. Hey, I
He's
was
not on my
questioning even
list.
putting him on mine, but I had my reasons. But
No,
cool.
100%. No, I agree why you put him on. I'm not kidding. I had him at like 5, okay? And he's one of those characters that kept going.
Oh, I know who your
up,
number
up,
1
up,
is. You
up,
fucker.
up, all the way. Do you think you know what it is?
Yeah, I know. Can I guess?
Yeah, guess.
It's the fucking villain.
It's
the
the
main
villain.
guy. The hands.
Tamura. Yeah. It's the villain. I thought he was so fucking cool. Trevor knows I'm a huge villain fan when it comes to superheroes and stuff like that. The reason why I like Batman and why I like Superman is not because
Overlord.
Exactly. It's not because of these characters without their villain. You know what I mean? They have such a collective and such depth when it comes to their villains that it's extremely important. So when I saw this guy come in, and when he came in to try, he didn't do it, but he tried. And the one thing I'm always kind of like really happy about, there's a certain type of villain, and I honestly call them I think they're like simps in a sense. Like they're very they're all messed up from something that happened from before. Yeah, and him scratching his face and freaking out, and he's all messed up. And it's like I'm not a huge fan of villains that are like strong and like they take over and everything. I like the ones that are all fucked up, right? I like them all like they have really hardcore personalities and stuff. And when he came in, man, he came in with a punch, and I still don't even understand it. I don't understand the whole hands. I just don't get his costume at all. Looks sick
Oh,
as fuck. Don't
it
need to
does.
understand it. It looks so cool. I love his costume. His power sucks in a sense. If I had to have that power, that would suck. You touch people and they basically turn to dust.
And we didn't get too much into like how much he can control and all that, you
Well,
know?
I'm just thinking, like, imagine trying to masturbate and your penis goes, woo.
I feel like he's fine. Besides the scratches, that hurts him.
Yeah,
But his
okay,
power is
yeah.
fine.
But imagine, like,
But I
oh, hey,
think
mom, and then poof. Hey, dad,
that's what I'm
poof.
saying. I bet he's got I don't know. Fuck. Maybe you know what I'm thinking? What if like his dad was some like really smart fucking dude who had to do with like because remember he was in
You can
like
see in the
the
computer.
TV thing and he's some kind of smart guy. And what if like his quirk is to like connect with technology and his son as his quirk was being formed was like, "Hey daddy, let's play catch," and touched him and
Yeah.
his starts dissolving. He's like, "Oh no, son, hook me up to the computer quickly." And that's a wild thing, but imagine, and now he's just like,
It could
now he
be,
does
bro.
everything. Is so I bet it's something fucked up. Like I don't know,
Dude, I have a funny
but
feeling his backstory is gonna be messed up, but I loved his costume. I love his personality where he's freaking out. There's something to do with video games, obviously, with the things that he was saying. Um, he reminded me a lot of the what's the demon from Demon Slayer, the one that was like scratching the shit out of himself, the twin.
we're gonna get chirped for not
I
knowing.
don't give a shit. It's
I'm
just
forgetting.
you
We've been
know who I'm
watching so
talking
much.
about. Season 2, the last
Yeah, yeah,
demon or whatever. Remind me a lot of him. I like the fact that it's almost like he's suffering in his head. Do you know what I mean? Like he seems very off.
yeah.
Like he's not in control and he's very like I feel like he's very naive and
It's
stupid
like
in a sense.
punishing himself. Yeah,
Exactly. He's like letting people know what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like he speaks out loud. Like that's not something you're supposed to do. That's not a smart thing to do. But I think it gives that like that makes his personality more unique in my opinion. I
yeah.
loved when he came in and I don't think we've seen him yet, have we in season 2?
No,
No, we haven't seen him yet. So it's like I think that this character could be huge. I really hope they make good use of him because when they brought him in, I was blown away. That is a
yeah.
villain that you could use
Chills,
exactly. He is the Joker in this show. He is going to be a pivotal part, I'm
dude.
hoping.
Anime for sure ain't like Marvel where they kill off a character or villain
Yeah,
and then they're just done. This is gonna be some crazy character development, and that's what you need with a fucking scary villain. I
100%.
want to slowly learn about them and why, what their drive is, and I want to be scared, not just fucking, oh, they got beat that easily.
Yeah,
Nah,
exactly.
he almost did what he set out to do.
Kill.
But it
Like,
was
yeah.
a really crazy hard task, and some things he just wasn't planned for. But he got close to taking All Might, so
His quirk is interesting too. Like, I love that. Like, because it reminds me of Rogue.
yeah. But I also like the way it does it. It's not just
Yeah,
like
it's not like, it's like you
it's like
evaporate.
you start crumbling like a fucking rock. It's fucking weird.
He's like, yeah, that's what you basically turn to dust. That's what the
Yeah,
explanation was on Google. Because I don't want to try and get too deep into this stuff because obviously we're only on season 2 and I don't want anything ruined for me. But that's what they were saying is like it turns you into dust. So if he was to hold
yeah.
on to you, you would literally go poof. And it's like that is a crazy quirk to me. And it could work so well. And I honestly think he has a lot of connections
Well, then
via
when he grabbed Eraserhead's elbow, it must have been because Eraserhead stopped his quirk,
could be.
so it only like just did part of his elbow. If that was anyone else, maybe they would have been dead
Poof.
by that touch. Yeah,
That's what I mean. But I thought that was such I still don't understand the whole hand thing. I don't understand the costume. I just think it was fucking awesome. Amazing entrance walking in like he did and I can't wait to see more of this character.
agreed.
All right, so for this next segment, obviously, if you guys have been watching our reactions, you guys have seen that we've been doing this season 2 Olympics superhero thing that we've been doing. I'll put it up. I'll make sure to put it up when we do this segment because right now it's not on the screen. But Trevor, you can see it, right? You can see the top 16, I think it is. 1, 2,
Yes,
3,
my lord.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. So there's 16 people in this bracket. Okay. So because we're actually running out of time, which I'm really surprised about here. We're going to do this a little quicker than we would. We're not going to go one by one who's going to win because obviously we went through the whole one by one over here. But as you can look in the bracket, for one, do you think Izuku's fucked?
I think he's fucked in the start of the fight, but I think he's gonna somehow get out of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't.
You think he's out right from the
I
start?
think so. I think this is finally his loss. He needs a loss. He needs something. You know what I mean? I don't see it being a happy story because the thing it also, which makes me think
But
that
this
it's.
is different.
But on top of that, wouldn't the writers think? Wouldn't it be cool to watch Izuku and Shoto go at it?
Yeah. But I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna win the whole thing.
No, you
But
don't
I
think
don't
so?
think he's losing the start. I don't think he's losing right off the bat. I think it's gonna show struggle. But I think somehow he's gonna bounce back because I don't get too deep into that guy. I don't know much about what he can do.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to look
The
because I don't want to
blue-haired
get
guy that
spoiled.
tells you,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't want to. I just know it's some fucking mind shit. But I'm hoping because he's got what's the power? All for one power, and because he's already got strong willpower himself,
Yeah.
I'm hoping Izuku can somehow like shake it off and then just like quickly take him out because he doesn't seem like a threat physically. So I think it's just gonna be like a hard fight, but I think Izuku takes the win.
Okay. Because the one thing like I in all honesty I think he's gonna lose. That's just in my opinion. If that was supposed to happen, I would think that he was gonna lose. I honestly think that if the writers were smart, they would let him win, and you'd go against Shoto, and Shoto would win.
That's what might happen. I
That's what I'm
don't
thinking.
think.
Look at his bracket. So look at his bracket with their 8. Out of those 8, who do you think is going to be representing that side, the left side? I honestly see it being
I
Shoto.
think Shoto.
I
Yeah,
see it being Shoto.
but I think Izuku's gonna make it to Shoto, and I think Izuku's gonna be this close to beating Shoto.
Yeah, you
That's
think it's
how
gonna
I
be a
think.
very even fight kind of thing?
Yep, but I
Okay.
think Shoto's gonna take the win, and everyone's still gonna be like, "Wow, Izuku, you're crazy!" That you like, he's gonna get his props and he's
Yeah, yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get up. But I think Shoto's gonna win. That I also think that there is a chance that like I think he's the most powerful and could take on the rest of them. But I feel like his dad might interfere and mentally fuck him. You know, like kids that get angry or they fuck
I
up
think this is when he
in the
uses
moment.
fire.
Yeah, I think he's gonna kick ass, but I
Yeah.
think he might lose to someone in in the further bracket just from him getting shit too emotional and taking things not so serious with the opponent at hand and thinking too much about his father and other shit.
I think that could happen too. I'm looking at it like this. So I'm looking at the 8 on the left and 8 on the right. I'm looking at Shoto being the one that makes it to the top. And the other side, I look at Kachan being the one that makes it to the top.
I see. Fuck. I guess it's all just in a battle.
You have to think about one
I
on
still
one.
think, I still think Fumikage is. I wouldn't fuck with him either in the daylight.
That's where I
Like,
think he has a disadvantage is the daylight. So if it
yeah,
was at
I think he's
nighttime,
gonna do well. I think he's gonna do
I
well.
think it'll be him versus Kachan at the semifinal, and then I
Oh,
think Kachan
dude,
will win.
the one guy, Krishima. Do you see who he's fighting?
Which one's that again?
Krishma or Krishima? He's the one that can harden. He's
Oh,
the
okay,
red
the
hair
redhead.
guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you see who he's fighting?
yeah. Mister.
I don't know his name, but he can turn into steel.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's two powers that
Or
are like
similar,
hardened. That's gonna be interesting.
but I see him taking
And
it.
then another one that's interesting is what's his name? Adea or the
I love
engine
trying
boy,
to say these names.
calf boy. Yeah, what's his name?
I honestly don't see him being that hard to beat. I
But look
really
who he's
don't.
going up against. He's got tech in his calves. She uses tech.
I
I
can
think
see
that's
her
gonna be
winning.
so can I. But that's an interesting battle.
Do we know what
Then we
seaweed
got
girls,
what is that? What does she do?
the seaweed chick? I
Yeah,
don't even know.
is she kind of like a poison ivy?
I couldn't tell you. I don't think we've seen it yet, have we?
I don't. I feel like we saw little. I think she's like poison ivy is like
Oh,
kind of that
okay.
shit. But like, can electric hurt trees and shit that much? Like,
I think you
sure,
could
I'm
hurt it
sure.
if it's a person.
The only problem, his power is crazy powerful, and sorry, his quirk is crazy powerful and cool. But he literally fries his brain when he uses it too much. He
Really?
kind of gets all.
Oh,
You
that's
didn't
right.
know
That's
that?
right. Yeah, yeah.
He
You're right.
gets
You're right. You're
dopey.
right.
That's why he always like he's stupid after. He literally fries it. He's got a weakness, but he can still do powerful things.
No, you're right. But I'm just looking at this bracket. I'm like, I see Shoto beating Izuku out if he does make it past the first round, and Kachan. I don't see him losing to any of these
Oh,
people on the
and I
right.
see bug girl beating fucking belly button laser
If
dork.
he makes it past round 1, I'm not watching the show anymore.
If he makes it past and Izuku doesn't, I'm done.
Me and Trevor always have this thing of every TV show. We always have someone we hate. Anime
Yeah,
has
for
always been
fun.
good at this way. Actually, Overlord actually hasn't had one yet, or Full Metal Alchemist.
No.
No, we haven't had that. But like the one thing, the one person we've always hated was like AOT, was always Gabby and stuff like that. Like we've always had a person to hate, and he's on our hate list now. I think because I just
Yeah.
can't stand him.
It's just the shit he says and his stupid look and his power. It's like, what? It weirds me out of your belly button. Like, I
At
think
least
I
make
would
it
have rather
cool and
your
make it come out of
dick.
your wiener, okay? Like
Yeah, that's
But yeah, I'm looking at the bracket and I look at Shoto and Kachan being at the top, and I see Shoto taking the crown.
yeah. I'm not gonna disagree.
Do you have another? Do you
I
have
think
another
it'd just
option?
be no. I want it to be Izuku, and I'm sure All Might does too. But I don't think it's that easy in the writing and where he's at right now. No, I think he's gonna put up a fight. Um, I think Shoto's gonna beat him. I think it's gonna be Shoto versus either. Honestly, I think it's Fumikage or Kachan
That'll be an
that will
amazing
go
fight if they
against.
can make that happen.
But either or, I think I think Shoto like as this and this challenge where it just comes to battling and it's your powers and you're in a stadium. Shoto, I think what's his weakness in that point besides his where he is mentally?
I don't know. That's what I mean.
What is it?
I don't know.
Because he can use his fire, he can use his ice. What do you get? There's no one here that
His
can throw
abilities are great.
water.
He's very like good. He's
Yeah.
athletic. Everything like
Izuku can get hurt. That other guy's a mine guy, so physically I don't think he can do shit. That one dude I think just has the tape, so Shoto's gonna fuck him up. Poison Ivy, you can freeze, you can burn.
yeah.
Electric dude, he gets stupid. One girl doesn't have powers. And like I just think everyone's got like weakness and like something that you could work around. Where Shoto, if he's
Yeah.
fighting at 100% and mentally there, I think it's a cakewalk for him.
No, I do too. I'm taking Shoto. I'm taking it as Shoto and Kachan at the end, and I'm saying that Shoto takes the crown at the end of it.
Yeah.
100%. All right, let's move on to our new little segment that we got going now. I hope you guys actually send in your questions every week because we'd love to do this. I think this is a great fucking idea. Our fans, our Discord friends, I'm gonna call them friends because we talk to them all fucking day. We were told like it would be awesome to throw some questions in at the end of our discussions and stuff like that about stuff obviously that we're watching. Like I said before, though, you can also ask personal stuff as well. Trevor has that weird 90-degree penis that we keep talking about.
And I have a good backstory. Yeah, it's really dark.
You ran into a wall. That's it. So, fuck me. I should have said that. Okay, so we got our questions here, and we got 3 this week that we'll be doing, and then make sure throughout the week we'll pile them all on, and we'll try to get it to. If there's a lot, it's gonna be hard to get to them all. But this week we only got 3, which is really nice. But make sure to throw yours in. We got one from Tucci, and he says, "Hey, if a series like My Hero Academia was a regular comic and not a manga, how different do you think it would be, and in what ways?" Trevor, I'm gonna throw this one at you because you're
Sure.
reading the manga.
Like how is it if it was just like a normal comic, like is in Marvel and stuff? Like if they tried to write
Yeah,
this story?
so obviously because I've read a little bit of manga online for Overlord, I tried to at least just trying to build up my knowledge of that show, and you can tell the differences between the writing between comics and manga. Obviously, the one thing I always think about when I read comics versus manga is depth.
Yeah,
Depth is one thing that I think manga has a lot, and emotion too.
for sure.
That's the one thing that I think that weighs so heavily on these storylines with anime. Is obviously anime comes from mostly manga, and when I'm reading a comic book, especially in like the West, like North America and stuff like that, you really can't have these dry spots of build.
Keep talking, I'm grabbing one.
Yeah,
thing.
go ahead. The thing with manga and comic books is one of these things where you have to keep the audience encased in what you're watching. So when I read a comic book, I'm not going to read a comic about an in-between piece of action and then an in-between and then action, right? A comic book is written a little differently. So I honestly think if, like, let's say My Hero Academia was a comic book, the problem with that would be is that really in essence it would almost come off as too much. So when you're reading a comic, you want it to keep going and going and going and going. And with a manga, you want to be able to kind of simmer in what's being said and what's being written to you. You want to see what's happening, the emotions and everything like that. But let's just take an example where in My Hero Academia, you have over 50 superheroes, okay? There's so many of them in this show and in the manga. If you were to put that in comic book style, it would make the comic book extremely dry. I wouldn't care about 95% of the characters. Izuku obviously would get the limelight in comics. I don't think that would be a hard thing to kind of fit in because obviously his backstory is part of the whole story of My Hero Academia. With comics, though, you can't sit and try and let every character have their moment in the limelight, which then makes an issue. Because if you're going to take those 50 characters, put them in a comic book and not tell everybody what it's going to be or who they are, what their quirk is, where they come from, what is their backstory, all these things, you make a bad comic book. With manga, you can let it breathe. You can let the reader be able to see every aspect of the story. And in all honesty, I think this is something that comic books are missing, truly, after reading manga. Go ahead.
I'm gonna talk to you about one
Go ahead.
because I got an example that's the closest thing I think to this show.
Yeah.
That has a really great world of like
Great question, by the way. It's fucking great.
crazy amount of abilities, weird ass powers, and everyone's unique and like dorky and weird in the comedy. And I think this is the closest thing, and it's Invincible. I think it's the best comic I've ever read. It's not like DC.
I've never
It's like
read
its
it.
own
Yeah.
it's its own universe. But it's crazy cool. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of this, but it's the closest thing to this show that I can think of. But I do agree for most part, it's hard to have stories with like, like the focus on a big group of people. It's like it's always kind of just based on the main character, and then you
Yep.
have like one few words from the side guys. Where this one, there's lots of character development, and then these books also, not the comics and manga, they actually manga, sorry. In manga, they actually like use their thoughts a lot. Like the characters like talking in their head,
Yeah.
like thinking it out. Where as in a comic, I feel it's more just like, hey Superman, we're gonna go do this and this and that. And you don't really get their perspective. You have to just kinda put it together yourself. Where anime is really clear on what that character's thinking or what their motive is, at least when it's one person talking. But yeah, Invincible is great, and it's a good comparison, I think, because it's crazy, super powerful people, but so many different characters, and everyone kind of gets like their story told, and it does a great job like mixing it up.
But look
But
at the
yeah,
size of your book compared to a comic.
this is just one part.
Exactly. So the thing with comic books as well too. So like the thing is like let's just say this. The Avengers. Let's just say Avengers, Justice League, whatever the fuck you want to use. Imagine having a comic book where you know nothing about the Avengers and they got to shove in a bunch of shit about who all these characters are. That wouldn't work. There's a reason why all these characters already have their backstories. They already had their series. Me and Trevor have been, what are we, reading comics for what? What are we, 14? I'm 20s. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Are we that old?
26 or 25?
I'm 26. You're 26. Shut
Yeah.
up.
No, I literally forgot.
So, Avengers, Justice League, and everything, they're already developed. That's the thing. The Justice League doesn't need the background. They need the story to come about the Justice League. My Hero Academia doesn't have that leisure. They don't. And if you were to transition them into a comic book style writing, it would hinder it so hard to the point it would be bad. It would be.
Yeah.
There's no way you could fit that in, or the reader would get so bored that they would just give up. And that's the thing with manga. And the thing is like with manga too, is like the emotion. Don't get me wrong. Comic books, there are some fucking great series in comics that give you the emotion and everything like that. But there's something new that I can't really put my finger on yet about manga or anime that has a different way of making you feel. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know if it's because it's more like animated or more cartoonish when they're
It's just,
upset.
I feel like it's just more detail. You
It
really
could
know
be.
how they're feeling like mentally and like little things and the fact that they'll show them like eating food
Yeah.
or going to sleep. Simple things like that that's making you connect a little bit like subconsciously like on a level where you're like, oh, they're like me. They need to eat, they need to rest and do that, but then they still kick ass and do all this crazy shit. I just feel it's a lot. They just give a lot more insight on how they're thinking or what they have to do.
Yeah.
Where in like comics, normally it's just like, I'm Batman. I'm here to fuck you up. I'm here to do this, and it's like that's it. And then we'll have a little bit of like of their backstory, just them
Yeah.
reminding us, but we never really get too much
Don't get
into
me
it. I don't
wrong,
know.
we love comic books. Like in my opinion, I personally take comic books over manga because I just haven't gotten to manga yet as much as everyone else obviously does that watches anime. But the thing that I love about manga is that they do take their time and they do develop their story. And with comics, I'm going into it knowing what's already developed. I already know everything that it already has a structure, right? I already know everything that I'm going to get into. But like you asked, and this is a great question. I can't believe, what are we on, like 10 minutes on this thing? Like it is the fact that you cannot take a manga and try and incorporate it into a comic because of the amount of time that is put into the manga. If you were to put it into a comic, it would dilute what it is, and truly, I just don't think it would work. I think it would make it a
Yeah.
bad story, and for two, I think the reader would be bored. I really do. And somehow with manga, they're
They
able to
do
get it
feel
done.
really different. They're both like similar, but like in very different
Yeah,
ways. Like,
100%.
yeah.
100%. All right, let's move on to the next question. We got two more. We got box anime. We got, this is a good one too. So for Full Metal Alchemist and the sins in general. Okay, so all the sins, we were talking about this I think last episode. What sin would you be? And this is great. He put all the things down. So you got greed, a moderate desire for unearthly goods. Sorry, I've been drinking a lot. This might actually be harder than it actually should be. Lust, which hankering for impure pleasures. Anger, inordinate desire for revenge. Gluttony, unrestrained use of food and drink. Envy, sorrow over another's good fortune. And sloth, laxity in the keeping the faith and the practice of virtue due to the effort involved. Edited, whatever. Trevor, which one would you be? Would you be greed, lust, anger, gluttony, envy, sloth?
Do I have to pick?
You
None
have
of
to
those
pick.
sound fun. I don't like any of them.
The funny part is you say, I'm really glad you actually said that because I'm pretty sure every person does this.
What?
Every person does all this list.
Well, yeah, you have certain, but to be like, that's who I am. It's like picking like, oh, uh, yeah, one of the things I suffer with sometimes is anxiety. So I'm just gonna say I'm anxiety. I'm anxiety. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I like, God, this is a good question again. In all honesty, I'd honestly have to think I may be gluttony. Gluttony or lust?
What's the last one?
Sloth. So it's keeping, it's, you wouldn't be in this category.
Oh, religious?
Yeah, just ignore that category. You don't need, oh, stop it.
Just
Jesus
kidding.
Christ. So, in my opinion, for me, I would think greed too, though. Unearthly goods. I was telling Trevor I wanted a Tamagotchi of RTD2
I am
yesterday.
really bad with money and I like things.
So I think you can be
So
greed.
I'm gonna choose that. Yeah, I'm greed.
So Trevor's gonna be greed. I have a thing like gluttony because I love wine. If people don't know this, like I have a thing for wine. I don't like liquor and stuff like that.
He's an
Wine.
alcoholic.
Sure.
Who said that?
So gluttony is a big one because it's like drink. Food, I'm not massive on food. I love good food. Don't get me wrong, through my work and stuff, like I have great food all the time. But lust, like hankering for impure pleasures and greed as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with gluttony. Gluttony and then lust is like right behind. Because obviously, just a heads up, Trevor, lust doesn't mean you just want to fuck everything that moves. I'm giving you a heads up. That's not what it means.
I should change the name then.
I knew you were thinking of that as soon as I said it. I'm like, Trevor's gonna think that means that he jerks off and tries to fuck everything that moves. That's not what it means. It's like, so like lust is something like, so like it's like hankering from impure pleasure. So it could be anything. So even think about like drugs and stuff like that. Yeah, keep sucking on that weed pen, okay? Like, okay, like that's what it is. So in all honesty, I think I'm gonna do gluttony first, and then right behind I'm gonna do lust, and then right behind that I'm also gonna do greed, because in all honesty, I do actually spend my money decently.
Wait, why are you picking so many? You just pick one.
Okay, I'll go with gluttony.
Bitch.
I like food.
Greed! Give me your things. I like things, especially dorky, cool things.
I really do like that question, because it's like literally, it's like if you just take away what he's actually asking, it's like, what am I worst at? What is my worst part of myself? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's why I'm like, I don't like these. It's so shitty to pick one. Like,
I have all. Like, that's what it is. But no, I gotta go with gluttony on that one. I think that like I have a problem with wine, but like food as well. So I'm gonna go with gluttony. Last question though. I hope I can pronounce this right. Suka. I'm gonna go with Suka. Tell me in Discord if I said your name wrong, and then I'll try and fix it for next time. So far, which MHA character are you most curious about?
curious, huh? Ah. I'm gonna still say right now. It's still Shoto.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we just learned a little piece about him, but I want to learn so much more about his relationship with him and his dad, and I want to see his other power in use. Right now, I feel like I kind of got a grasp on most people. I guess the villains. I'm really curious about the villains, but
Tamura.
yeah,
That's Tamura, whatever his name is. I think he has a way bigger piece into the puzzle, and I think we haven't gotten into yet. And I'm excited for that, because I really think that he's going to, like, I don't think we're done with the villains in any sense. No. I think there's going to be a big blow up.
If you think about it, we also barely got the teachers so far. There's still so many
true.
teachers. Like, I'm actually curious a lot about the teachers, and I feel like we're gonna get a moment where like maybe like a B-lister or C-lister teacher or hero that maybe we don't see that too much, it's gonna focus on them for an episode where a villain's like killing off people and they gotta sacrifice, and we see a cool like fucked up death that like really motivates the
That'd
people.
be cool.
Like, I don't know. I'm curious to see more of teachers, I guess.
100%. And I'm going to say Tamura, because I think he is the dot. I think he is the start of the villains. I think he's going to be the one that expands the villains. I think he's going to be the one that causes all the problems and stuff like that. And also, I really want to know about what the hell's with his computer and everything like that. I guess his computer is like his leader in a sense, right? So I think that story has like just scratched the surface. We've only seen him for like technically one part of this show. So he's definitely going to be my favorite. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed our discussion for this week. I'm extremely excited for what's coming with My Hero Academia. I think we both enjoyed this a lot, discussing this whole entire show, because we've had a lot to say about it, and we talked about it all throughout the whole entire week. And there's just a lot to say about the show that we didn't even cover, truly. Mm-hmm. Right? Like there's still so much stuff, and I don't know. This show could become a favorite.
It already is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love it because it's so much like super like comics that we grew up on.
Yeah.
But better lately. So yeah.
100%. All right, guys. Before we leave, if you want to drop a like, subscribe down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. We're bringing you discussions every week, Friday, Saturday. We also got Discord, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon, the links. And if you are a Patreon already, you will be seeing us for another however long this discussion is going to keep going, and how much more I can drink before I pass out and go to bed. So for patrons, me and Trevor will be seeing you in 5 seconds. And for everybody else, until next time.
See you guys.
See you later.